Pay no attention to those foundations behind the curtain. Just believe in the great and powerful cause. That's right. There is a small number of wealthy activist groups behind the curtain that is commanding you to believe in the cause. And what is this cause? It is to save the planet from catastrophic man-caused climate change. Weirdly, you don't actually have to do anything. You just need to believe that fossil fuels are evil and renewables are going to save the day. Does this sound like a conspiracy theory? Don't be so sure. A new study published by Matthew Nesbitt of Northeastern University identifies 19 major foundations that spent more than $500 million over 4 years to teach you what to think about fossil fuels, wind and solar power, and the coming catastrophe of climate change. In the study, Nesbitt writes that foundations mobilize vast financial resources to alter the public conversation relative to complex problems like climate change. But the big money is only the beginning. As Nesbitt points out, the news media is in the habit of just accepting everything the great cause has to say. When left of center and progressive foundations are covered in the U.S. press, coverage tends to be predominantly positive and uncritical. Is the hair on the back of your neck standing up yet? The original leader of the great cause is the Energy Foundation. It was set up by large block grants from the Rockefeller Foundation, Pew Charitable Trusts, and the MacArthur Foundation. The Hewlett and Packard Foundations joined in later. In creating the Energy Foundation, these big activist groups were able to pool their money to avoid waste and redundancy, which benefited those giving the money and the ground troops charged with getting the public to believe in the cause. And it was effective. The Energy Foundation has taken credit for passing renewable energy mandates in dozens of states, bringing industrial wind to the Midwest, starting the West Coast solar industry, and integrating renewables into major utilities. Nesbitt discovered that between 2011 and 2015, 19 of the largest foundations awarded more than $550 million in grants to promote the cause. And, like flying monkeys, some foundations focused on specific tasks. The Wallace Global Fund pushed for financial divestment of fossil fuels. The Heinz Endowments and the Schmidt Family and Park Foundations focused on stricter regulation and bans on natural gas fracking. The Bloomberg Foundation dedicated itself to shutting down the coal industry. The largest foundations spent money in geographic areas: Hewlett in Colorado, Park in New York, and Heinz in Pennsylvania. The money not spent on attacking fossil fuels or hyping climate change was spent on promoting wind and solar. It was about 25%, or $140 million. We know a great deal of this cash originates from people and companies heavily invested in taxpayer-subsidized wind and solar. But how much? The great and powerful cause isn't saying. I can hear the skeptics. That's only one study. What does that prove? Actually, this study comes on the heels of 2 reports from the United States that highlight the enormous amount of money being spent by the cause to mislead the public on energy issues. The lesson here is to beware the foundations behind the curtain. The news media should be acting like Toto the dog, revealing the funding sources, pushing the deception. But as Nesbitt's study and the U.S. Senate has shown, the media has stopped being a skeptical watchdog and has become central to the cause. For the Clear Energy Alliance, I'm Mark Mathis. Power on. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified when new videos are released. And check out our website, clearenergyalliance.com, the place where flawed premises on energy are exposed.